Where are we at? We have an interesting world we're entering, and we have a world we're coming out of. A lot of unknowns, but that's not what we're going to talk about. And we're walking into a new reality. And we're looking at the mirror and we recognize parts of ourselves, other parts of ourselves we don't. We're more scared than we've ever been. We're more timid. We're more cautious. We've lost a bit of our excitement for this world. The world is not as, it's not as simple. Going out with a friend is not as simple. Going out and seeing people is complicated. Everything has a layer. Should I? Shouldn't I? Once upon a time, you didn't think about this stuff. Now you do. And what I feel we all need to do is, like what I'm doing now with my jacket, we need a detox of it. We need a detox. To get certain energies out of us. I've often joked that most people need to detox from the Jewish education they got. Why? Because a lot of the stuff that we were taught in school, or that we think we were taught in school, are nonsense. I cannot tell you how many times I've sat with young people, especially in their 20s, who tell me stuff that they were taught, or they thought they were taught. I'm not blaming the teachers. Absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish. About God, about Judaism, about our history, about our role in this world, about frum, about mitzvahs, about just everything. And what scares me about that is, like, we're actually losing kids. Kids are assimilating. I've spoken to people who are assimilating, who are thinking about it, who genuinely think certain things about Judaism, and their perceptions are totally wrong. So if we don't detox from certain things in our life, then they stay with us. So I started off with talking about COVID. We need a detox from COVID, but I want to move on to detox from Judaism. Not Judaism, the negative elements that you were taught about Judaism. To clean out, get it through your system. Sometimes I have it with myself, my body. About once a year, I usually come down with a virus. I don't know, whatever it is. And like, I'm pretty much man down for a few days. And like, I come out of it feeling rejuvenated. It's almost like my body has to go into like zero activity mode for a small amount of time. And then it gets reboosted. And for me, it's almost like a detox. Other times, what we do for a detox is you'll diet-wise, you'll eat certain foods that will clean your system. You'll fast. There's this whole concept, whether it's food, sleep, exercise, etc. This idea of cleaning out the system and restarting. I know that most of us are not exactly tech, geniuses, but it's the same thing. You have to shut down your phone sometimes. If it's acting out too much, shut it down. Your computer's acting out. I always tell people, the first thing you do if things are an issue on your computer, shut it, start it again, and see if the issue's there. If the issue's still there, fine. But I don't know, 8, 9 out of 10 times, you just need a restart. So if your feelings about Judaism are scaring you away from it, instead of assuming with absolute conviction that what you think about Judaism is right, and therefore you dislike it, how about come with the assumption that maybe I misunderstand it? Maybe I don't get it. Maybe I missed that lesson in the school that would have make it click. I have yet to meet somebody who, after hearing some ideas of authentic Judaism, didn't come and say, That's not the way Judaism was taught to me. In other words, every time I've sat across a youngster or even an older person, I'll say something that they didn't know. Their approach is, but that's not what I was taught. Or maybe if it was taught to me that way, I wouldn't be so allergic to it. Really, the question is Judaism as a product a good product and we're just bad salespeople? Or does the product suck? Sorry for the French. And no matter how much you sell it, you're selling the Brooklyn Bridge. And as a rabbi, I'd like to believe, and I strongly believe, that that the product is good, that the product is amazing, that the product is worth delving into. And why am I talking about Judaism today? First of all, we're getting to that season of the year. We're getting close to Rosh Hashanah. We're just 6 weeks away, believe it or not. So Wednesday and a Thursday, so it's literally 6 weeks from tonight. I think it's Wednesday and Thursday. Sorry, no, it's Monday and Tuesday. It's Tuesday and Wednesday, apologies. It's literally 6 weeks from today. But also because we need Judaism more than ever to anchor ourselves in this world. We're so unanchored, we're so floating. That's the energy, like, I'm picking up myself and a lot of the people I'm talking to. It's like, it's not terra firma. Our feet aren't on the ground. It's not, like here, it's like a haze. If you've ever gone through, I'm sure you have, a tragedy or incredible simcha, it kind of knocks you off your feet and like you're kind of hazy in different ways, obviously. There's like this feeling like we're not grounded after so long without a routine, after so long with just such a crazy world. We're like re-entering, hopefully we're entering for good, who knows, but we're entering for the third time after a lockdown, and we're like, get me firm on the ground, like put me here, ground me. And one of the ways to ground yourself is Yiddishkeit. Yiddishkeit grounds. When I spend time studying Torah, present, not like distracted. Oh, I'm listening to Avert and I'm talking to my grandmother, and I'm tying my shoelace and I'm checking Facebook and I'm eating lunch. Not that kind of learning, but like when I'm learning, when I have to prepare a shir and I have to really know the content and go there. It grounds me. Every day, I record the daily chumash, daily tanya, daily mitzvah. For those few minutes, I'm grounded. I'm fully focused, and it grounds. Because what happens is our minds are so all over the place. We're so scattered, especially with this thing that we have called a smartphone. We're so distracted, plus all the chaos of the last year and a half. We're not firm. We're not there. We're not fully present. We're not in this life. We're almost floating above our life. I'm not talking for everybody, but some of us. There's like this hover. We're hovering over our life. Observing life. We basically have been observers. We're watching the TV and watching life go elsewhere, but like in ourselves, we're like kind of observers, locking ourselves in our, in our bedroom or in our house. And Torah helps us ground, gets us back. Values are eternal, no matter pre-COVID, post-COVID, pre-Holocaust, post-Holocaust, divorce, after divorce. There's certain things in life that are constants. And the thing that is constant is values. Values are constant. Other things aren't. Love isn't constant. It could be if you're lucky, but it's not constant. Life isn't constant. stability, financial success, beauty, all this stuff isn't constant. The only thing that's constant is something outside yourself, something that's constant itself, and that's God. God before the world was created and forever, the same God. There's no evolution of him. There's no, devolution. It's constant. So when I have values which are godly, I'm holding on to something which is constant, which is real, which is fully present. But I have to believe that Judaism has to offer me that. I have to believe that Judaism shows up to the table and actually has value to add. And the question is, do I? Does my spouse? Do my children? Do my grandchildren? Now, I can't brainwash anybody. In other words, I can't brainwash my family, but they can see in me if my Judaism is grounding me. They could see if my Judaism and my values are like, I really appreciate it. They could see if Judaism for me is just a heritage, a tradition, or it's my anchor, my magnet to this world. It grounds me. It literally holds me down in the best way possible, not making me, physical or materialistic, but present, here, at peace, serene. And when you have values, even if you lose your way, you know where to come back to. For me, that's the thing that we often don't talk about in values, and that is we all lose our way. Temptation, distraction, depression, sadness, emotions, volatile life events, relationships. None of us are even keel every moment of every day. We're not robots. We have our moments. I always say none of us want our worst moments to be recorded and posted on YouTube, because each and every one of us has those moments that, please God, never make it, to Facebook or YouTube. They're just like, they're private. Only the people we love know about them, nobody else. Which is also ironic that the people that love us the most also see us as our worst, but I guess maybe it's not ironic, it's just the way life works. But we all fall. We all slip. We all have really bad days. We have bad weeks. We could even have a longer amount of time. But where is the North Star? Where do you come back to? Where do you fall back on? There's been a lot of discussion recently about this new TV series called My Unorthodox Life. I haven't watched it, but I did watch some YouTube clips about it. And I've read enough about it to pretty much get the gist of what it is. Right? It's a woman who was frum and living in Muncie, and one day she saw the light, and now she is showing off her wardrobe worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and talking about intimacy as if she was an 18-year-old and living the high life. And everyone's saying Mazel Tov. You got out of that miserable jail. Well done, honey. Stand up for yourself. That's the way to do it. That's true feminism. Okay, whatever. And for me, I'll be honest, it's her life, it's her decision. And she's entitled to make a Netflix series of it. God bless you. But don't try to project that on everybody else. And don't tell me that having a wardrobe is more anchoring than values. What values do you stand for now? You dropped everything that you held important. Okay, so you're living the high life. You managed to hit luck. You married a wealthy guy, an Italian, and you've made it in life, and you're doing them up. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And the reason I don't buy it is because I've seen so many people lose their way. And you never lose your way if you're happy. You lose your way if you're unhappy, but not if you're unhappy with the way of life. You're unhappy with yourself. What are you running away from? I have somebody I know who made life choices and pretty much doesn't live the life they grew up with at all. But they're convinced they're the happiest people alive, the happiest person alive. And they project that. And for a time, I actually believed it. I don't believe it anymore. If you're happy, why are you doing that? If you're happy, why did you close the door on everything that was important to you in your childhood? If you were happy, why did you slam the door on yourself? Why are you trying to prove yourself by making a Netflix series and showing off like your shoe cupboard? Like, really? You're that happy? Then enjoy your shoes. You're that happy? Enjoy your drunken nights. But like, are you really happy? I've said this a long time ago, many times. If you're telling Facebook how happy you are in your marriage, I get worried. Because if you're really happy and you and your spouse know it, not only do you see no need to post it, it's an invasion of privacy to post it. It's your love. It's your connection. Why is it anybody else's business that you love your spouse? In general, I find these wedding speeches really, really squirm. I get really squeamish when he or she or both start declaring their love for each other. Honey, there's a place that belongs, and it's not here, and it's not in front of others. If you truly love each other, I respect that. I'm very happy for you. Why are you telling me? That's private. It's your love for each other is private. If it's genuine and it's real, it's only between the two of you. Nobody else is in that world, not even your children. It's you. When you have to tell the world how happy you are, I'm not buying it. Because the happy people I know don't tell anyone they're happy. They just are. And I know for myself, when I feel the need to send out a message, like about myself, and 9 out of 10 times I control it and I never do. There's so many times I will post a WhatsApp status of a family, like a child of mine, and then I'm like, no, that's my child. Like, it's nobody else's business that my child just started walking or talking or anything. But at that moment I'm doing it, I'm not doing it because I'm happy. If I'm content, I don't feel the need to. I feel that it's absolutely perfect to just share it with my mom and my mother-in-law. Mazel tov, the baby started walking. If I have to tell the whole world, I'm not comfortable. Again, I can't talk for everybody else. There might be some people who literally, their posts on Facebook are coming from or Instagram are coming from the most genuine place, and they truly love, and somehow by validating their love in public, it grows their love. Could be. I don't think it's true for most people. And I would like to talk to the person who does do it and really? If you're happy for somebody, your spouse, your friend, don't tell me about it, tell them. Because one thing I've learned in life, it's easier for me to compliment my child to somebody else than to compliment my child to me. My dad, may he rest in peace, used to tell everybody about me. I always say, he worshipped his kids. He struggled to tell it to us directly. And I don't hold it against him. It was just hard for him. But everybody else in the street knew that his son is the most successful. He literally would take any success I had, magnify it 100-fold. And no, he's not the rabbi of a shul. He's the rabbi of the shul. It's the biggest shul. It's the chief rabbi. He made stories. I shared this with my father, Shloshim. I spoke about it. I was like, my father just magnified everything about it. But it was easier for him to tell others than to tell me. And I'm fine with that. Like I don't resent it. It's just the point. The point is, if you're telling me about them, I worry why you're not telling them. So for my dad, no, he did. He really did. He really was proud. He just wasn't able to. But often it's me trying to confirm. I really want to believe my marriage is amazing. So if I post on Facebook a picture where both of us look stunning and magnificent, then it's real. Because everyone likes it. Everybody loves saying, finger up on that. Now, I'm not talking about Facebook. It's not about Instagram. It's about being fully present in our lives, genuinely connected, in healthy relationships. Because I want to trace my steps back to where we started. We started from detoxing from bad ideas. And that Judaism, if you get the ideas right, it gives you good values. And that's how I got to it. I'm actually tracing myself back. We ended up talking about my unorthodox life and then talk about, like showing off to everybody else. Be content with your own life. Celebrate your own life. And detox from bad ideas, because Judaism, I truly believe, is the greatest product of all. It really is. Like, I ask myself all the time, Levi, what would you be without Yiddishkeit? And I know I would be a lost, broken person and with wasted talents. It's not as if I left Judaism, my talents would be activated. On the contrary, my impulses, which are currently being restrained and controlled by the values I hold dear, would then run loose and I would self-destruct. I know that. I know that about myself. You can either see restriction as confining, or you can see restriction as enabling. For me, when Judaism says don't do that, it takes me away from a road that's going to take me nowhere and focuses me on a road that will take me somewhere. I still have to do the work myself. Judaism doesn't solve my problems, but it grounds me. It's like, okay, not everything's an option. You don't have to go everywhere. You don't have to chase all your dreams, because a lot of your dreams are actually nightmares. Don't chase every impulse of yours. A lot of your impulses will destroy you. It's not for no reason that in the freest time we've ever lived in, which is today, where more people live in democracies than ever before, we have more drug overdoses. We have more people on drugs and on trash and drinking than ever before. It's strongly connected, because the moment you give people all the options and you're assuming that they'll choose the best option, you're being too gracious. There might be some people, there will be some, there'll always be those people, believers and non-believers, who will choose the best way. But as a society, if you tell a society everything's an option, and then you're surprised why people are overdosing, why pornography is the most searched thing on the internet, why the marriages are breaking down, why people are drinking more than ever, what's the surprise? Did you really think if you open up all the options, we're all going to run to the best? That's quite an overestimation of the human condition. We have an animal soul, we have a godly soul, and our animal soul fights us and tries to pull us down constantly. And if we don't channel it, we destroy it. And that's why when people say, my kid will discover Judaism later in life, no, your kid is most prone to give into their impulses in their adolescence. If they don't have a value to hold them tight, they'll lose it. Some won't, Not every kid that doesn't have values. I said some people are just whatever. They don't have such strong impulses, or they have strong self-discipline. They'll figure it out. But that's quite a gamble to assume that that's what your kid's going to be or your grandchild's going to be. Hashem said no. That's why you don't do it. And you hear it over and over. Not that Hashem's your tyrant. Hashem's your parent. He's giving you boundaries. Don't go there, honey. You want to cross the street. Don't go there when there's a car going. It's going to hit you and it's going to hurt you. So this whole idea that Judaism is a bunch of rules to confine you, to constrain you. And look, even that lady on My Unorthodox Life said it. Nonsense. It can, if you just use like any culture can destroy itself. If I decide to use the rules of Judaism to constrict, I can turn it into that. But it doesn't have to be. On the contrary, it's not its intention. Its intention is to enable, to help us be the best people we can be, to play our part, to set up healthy boundaries. Because everything in life needs boundaries. Your marriage needs boundaries. Your parenting needs boundaries. We all need boundaries. And that's what Judaism is. It's a healthy boundary set. And it says, now that you have those boundaries, fill it with holiness. Fill it with your unique contribution to this world. So what was the point of my share today? We went on quite an interesting journey. Detox from the idea that says that Judaism is here to destroy you. Detox from the idea that says that Hashem just wants to get into your kishkis when he says, don't eat, a shtickle chazer, don't eat shellfish. It's not God coming and getting into your kishkis. It's God coming and saying, I know you, I created you, I know your soul. This won't nourish your soul. Not that non-kosher food is unhealthy. One person told me they learned in school, non-kosher food is unhealthy. Baba-mysis. If I eat a fat piece of lamb that's kosher, it's not any healthier than a lean piece of meat that's not kosher. That's baloney. I mean, it could be once upon a time that kosher did help for hygiene, but that's not why Hashem gave it. Hashem gave kosher because for your neshama, this food nurtures it and this food destroys it. And if you're not Jewish, it doesn't do anything. So enjoy the chazer. There's nothing beautiful about a non-Jew not eating chazer. It has no value. It's not one of their mitzvahs. Not because we're better or worse. It nourishes them. It doesn't nourish us. Shabbos, it's not coming to destroy your life. It's coming and saying your soul needs one day without phones. Your soul needs one day of presence. Your soul, your neshama needs family time, needs davening time, needs kiddush, needs challah. It's not killing you. Whoever told us that? Every healthy relationship has rules, has boundaries, has a safety around it to protect its sanctity, to protect its holiness, to protect its values. And that's exactly what Judaism is. Nothing more and nothing less. So happy detoxing. Tell me how you feel once the detox is over. Shkoyach.